Before we start, I want to share this information for people who don't know about this screw yet. This screw is an M10 with a 1.25 thread pitch. You need this screw to remove the rotors from the hub assembly. When you're on the process of removing the rotors, you simply screw this in on both holes and it will push the rotors away from the hub assembly. You don't need to hammer it out. Now you know. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to How to Helen, where you learn something different every day. In this episode, we will be replacing the rear brakes and rotors of this 2006 Hummer H3. Now I already jacked up the car and removed the tire to save us some time. Just a reminder, please use a jack stand when you're racing your vehicle. It is very dangerous to work without a jack stand. I don't want people watching my video and then their car falls on them. So please use a jack stand. The brake caliper is held up by two 14mm bolts, so use a 14mm socket to remove them. Remove the brake pads, or what's left of it. Use some lubrication or penetrating oil to help remove the brake pads and its location. The caliper bracket is held in by two 15mm bolts. Use a 15mm socket to remove them. They are going to be in there tightly, so use an alternative or improvised cheater bar. Now it's time to remove the rotors. With these two M10 bolts with a 1.25 pitch, we're gonna thread them on the holes and alternately tighten them until the rotor pops off the hub assembly. So let's do that now. Well, that wasn't that long. So this beats then hitting the rotors with a hammer. There you go. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the old brakes and rotors. Before I put in the new brakes and rotors, I'm gonna do a short cleanup first. Install the new rotor on the hub assembly. Put some tread locker on the caliper bracket bolts before installing them. Reinstall the brake caliper bracket and bolt. Hand tighten the bolt first to prevent from cross-threading. Torque the rear caliper bracket bolts to 100 foot-pounds. Install the new brake pads. Make sure the brake pads are seated properly and can slide freely back and forth. Use the old brake pad and the brake piston spreader to push the brake pistons back. Install the brake piston assembly. Put some tread locker on the caliper bolt before installing them. Hand tighten the bolt first to prevent from cross-threading. Tighten the caliper bolt with a 14mm socket. Torque the caliper bolt to 27 foot-pounds. Do the other side as well, as it is recommended to do both sides at the same time. Anyway, this set of instructions is applicable for both sides. And that is how you replace the rear brakes and rotors of a 2005 Hummer H3. This has been another episode of How to Helen. My name's RJeff, and thank you for watching.